more switcher evidence, and LinkedIn's game motivations. This is Mac Voices. Today's Mac Voices is supported by MacVoices After Dark. What happens before the show starts and after we sign off? Informative, fun, and completely off-script conversations. That's what. MacVoices After Dark is an exclusive benefit for our Patreon subscribers. Sign up now at patreon.com/MacVoices. Two other quick ones that are just purely for fun. Okay. Apple Insider says that reports, let's see. I lost it. I lost my fun one.
Half of recent Mac buyers are switchers from rival platforms.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, it's our friend Andrew Orr.
Oh, well, then this is a totally legit piece because Andrew wrote it.
So I think this is interesting because switchers kind of come and go in the media as to a topic that is talked about. And so, if this is even anywhere near accurate, it's interesting that the Mac is still pulling and Apple products are still pulling from other platforms as a method of growth. Because, who doesn't have a device at this stage? So there are very few new users. So maybe it should not come as a surprise. But I still love it, the fact that there are people that are switching and they see the benefits to switching. Because I don't know about you, but if I contemplate switching from, if I were to contemplate switching from Mac to PC or iPhone to Android, I mean, there's not only a learning curve, but I've got a healthy investment in software and even just plain use and knowledge of use that I'd have to, basically give up, or I wouldn't be able to leverage as effectively. So I'd be very hesitant. And yet all these people are making this decision and making that sacrifice.
Last year, Chuck, I had a fall from grace, and I bought a Android Fold.
I was going to bring that up. I never told anybody your name. I've referenced somebody I know, a friend, but I never used your name. So you just
Marty felt it was okay to mention it now, since Eric and I are going to be visiting you in about an hour.
Yeah. Well, I had it for about 4 months and could not switch things over in an ecosystem. Couldn't work in two ecosystems. So I get it. I really think the iPhone for a lot of folks as of recently is the gateway drug. They get a phone, it does wonderful things, and it's sort of like, well, I really wish I could just have all this synced together in one system. And they start to look at MacBooks. And there's been some change in pricing. I'll let Eric talk about that because he put that in the chat.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Eric.
That's me. Wow. Yeah. The price difference that low end MacBook Air now has finally hit a price point that users who are price sensitive that were getting by with Chromebooks and cheap PCs are now comfortable buying a Mac laptop. That has been huge.
It's an M1.
It's an M1, right?
It's an M1. I'm hard pressed to hear you say it's low end MacBook.
Well, I mean, in the lineup of MacBook Airs, right? You can buy several different models. You can buy an M2. You can buy an M3. You can get more expensive ones. You don't have to. The thing is, it's not used. It's not somebody's hand-me-down. It's a brand new machine in a box that is perfectly fine and does everything a person will want it to do. And I have had more calls over that from people that, I've kept my PC going for the last 10 years. It takes 20 minutes to boot, but I kind of thought maybe I'd replace it, right? Or I need a new machine. I'm using this old one and I'm retiring and I have to return it. And should I get this used machine? Should I get this old Intel? Should I get no? Okay. Finally, here's a machine. It meets all the specifications. It's new. It runs all the current software. It has decent battery life. Checks all of the boxes. And that's a big deal. And many of those users are either really, really ancient Mac users or PC users or some work device user that in retirement they don't want to spend very much, but they still need something useful. And this takes care of it. I mean, even Walmart is carrying a Mac now, and I don't think they have up until this point.
No, they haven't. I question: was Apple continuing to make these M1 Airs, or was there a major surplus?
Nope, they're continuing to make them.
Okay, so they're making them exclusive to Walmart.
I thought there were two because Best Buy I thought had it too.
Yeah, Best Buy was selling.
Best Buy ones are not new.
Yeah, those are they're clearing out, so they're marked them down to like $6.
So Walmart must be an exclusive new product from Apple.
So it's the Wallbook.
The Wallbook Air.
And look, an M1. I don't care what configuration.
M1
yeah, it's nothing to sneeze at.
That's what I'm using. An M1 right behind me.
Yeah, that's all mine.
Over there in the woods. M1.
Yeah.
Right behind that tree.
Yep.
When I first saw this, one of the things that I had to think about a little bit, and I can think of a dozen reasons that you can shoot it down, but does this potentially ease the transition, the final days of the transition away from the Intel Macs? That now you can get into an M1. Yes, it's a laptop. Yes, it's not an iMac, but that you can get into an M1 at just a crazy low price, and it is so much more powerful than even the top end Intels were.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes me think about that because I know during it was that spooky hardware event they had in October. It was so focused on upgrading. It seemed like upgrading your Intel up to an M series. And really, I guess, if you don't need it for, specifically for some maybe boot camp type apps for the most consumers, it's a great deal.
Well, I mean, Intel's getting near its end. I mean, who knows what the next Mac OS is going to be? I mean, there's been talk that Sonoma could be the end of the line on an Intel Mac. So
that's true too.
Last story, guys. I'm sorry Ben's not here to explain this one to me because I'm just stunned by this. LinkedIn apparently is considering putting a game on its social media platform.
Actually, this makes sense. I'm not kidding.
Explain it to me, Jeff, because I can't find it.
Okay. If you have a social platform, regardless of what you claim the goal of this platform is or the focus is, so you have Facebook, and that's whatever Facebook is, and you have LinkedIn. It's a social platform. Its claimed target demographic are business people and professionals. Right. You still want to keep people locked in and engaged in your platform. So you need to add new features and new ways of gaming your algorithms all the time to keep people engaged and on your site in your platform. So for LinkedIn, what can they do to make their platform more engaging and keep people active there more? And at this point, I'm thinking it's come up with games. Now, I imagine these are not going to be like Doom for office people, where you can skin it so it looks like your office and everyone's running around in suits and you're shooting stuff in cubicles. Oh, Eric, we need to talk about a new game. But this will probably be like I need to relax for a couple of minutes. Let's do something casual on my break, or let's gamify stuff related to business in general. Let's gamify getting more information about you and what you're interested in. Where do you see your career in 10 years? Take this quiz and see what you're going to be, or what your dream job should be, that sort of thing. It sounds horrible, and I agree, but at the same time, I see gaming as a way to keep people even more engaged on the platform.
Jeff, I don't disagree with the keeping people engaged. It's not going to engage me. It's going to push me farther away, but that's me. But the idea that this is another way for them to learn more about you smacks of some of the worst sides of social media. But I can't disagree with the idea that it might be potentially useful for once. Because we've all seen those things that, what is your sign, and your sign and you and your significant other, as to whether you're going to butt heads or whether it's going to work. And all these things are collecting data on you. I honestly did not even think about the idea that a game of this kind could potentially collect data about me from LinkedIn or on LinkedIn. Interesting. Marty?
That was my idea. This now becomes another tool that your scores will be made available to whatever future employer wants to know. So they'll find out how good you are in certain sort of tasks, and it almost becomes a metric for a hiring process.
Wow, that's taking it to another level.
I'm looking at the photos that are on the Dumpster Fire Network, and it's like, rank these companies, and they're companies that have a presence on LinkedIn, and like, I don't know, sort of like a Tetris or a crossword game, and like what companies are in what region. And so gaming or gamification of raising awareness about clearly companies that are paying, that are on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It feels like something that maybe is going to be a bigger time suck, but who knows? Maybe you're both right. Maybe this is the way they gain more information about us.
Well, a time suck is exactly how you keep people on your social network.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess, Jeff. I guess, it just goes against my grain, but that's not the first time. But it won't matter.
You get all wrapped up in LinkedIn dating. Swipe right, swipe left. I'm trading up to a CEO. Cha-ching.
Okay, on that basis.
I know I said it, and I say it in jest, but dating app for business professionals, and build it right into LinkedIn because you're already there.
And that's where most people meet their partners anyway, so you might as well set it up that way.
Jeff, I know you're being flippant about it, but I don't hate that idea, because it, as Marty says, that makes actually a lot more sense than something like a Tetris game.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh boy.
So Chuck, when you play this back, looking for edit points, and you run across that part that you just said, first, don't edit it out because it's very prescient, but also look at the world we're living in now, where the thought of embedding a dating app into LinkedIn actually makes more sense than something else.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've seen that. We've never really gotten into this, but I've seen articles that talk about the number of people who meet their spouses now through dating apps. And I mean, since I haven't been in that world for quite a while, I was honestly shocked that, the idea of just going to a bar and meeting anybody, no, not anymore. Now it's all doing the connections online and through the dating apps. So, and again, it makes a certain amount of sense because it's not nearly as random. You probably have upped the odds a little bit
and everyone's so busy working 3 jobs that they found on LinkedIn.
Yeah. This has been all over the place. I know we started out and we really stuck with the privacy focus right up to the end, but it's all the reasons that we bring this stuff up, that you really all need to pay attention, be aware of some of these things. I like to say that we try to make you think. Hopefully we've done that again tonight about your personal privacy, security, what you share and don't share, where you share it and how you share it. I want to go around the table, let you know where you can connect with all these folks if you have any comments or questions about what they've said tonight. And of course, you can always reach me at chuck@macvoices.com, assuming I'm around to answer after Eric and Jeff make their visit. So let's start at the top. And there have been some shifting around, as there often is. So Eric's up there in the top with the Bluebird. Eric, thank you for being here. Where can folks connect with you?
You can reach me at EA Bolden at techhub.social and the birds at EA Bolden at mas.to.
The bird has its own Mastodon presence?
Yeah, it has a lot of followers.
Okay.
Birds of Mastodon hashtag.
Nice.
Is that a real hashtag or did you just make that up? Oh, is it really?
Do a search for Birds of Mastodon. Shows up.
Makes as much sense as a dating app on LinkedIn. So, Marty Gensius, thank you so much for calling yourself out on being the foldable phone guy. Where can folks connect with you?
You can catch me at Gensius, Jencius, at mastodon.social, and also find me on 2 podcasts that I produce, The Tech Savvy Professor and Circular Firing Squad.
Thank you, Marty. So glad you're feeling better.
Thanks.
Jim Ray, the real Jim Ray. Where can folks connect with you?
We banished that fake Jim Ray guy. If anybody has any questions about anything I've said here tonight, I don't want to hear about it. But but if you just want to say nice things, then you can do that on Mastodon at ProviewJim at techhub.social.
Thank you, Jim. And seriously, thank you for sharing some of the background information on Panorama. It was very interesting, very relevant, and very interesting from a developer's perspective.
Oh, there's plenty more where that came from.
We'll look forward to it. Jeff Gamet, so glad that you were able to join us fashionably late. Where can folks connect with you?
Well, thanks for letting me in fashionably late. So people can find me on social media. I'm Jay Gamet, pretty much everywhere, except for LinkedIn. I'm Jeff Gamet there. And anyhow, I'm active on Mastodon, Threads, and Instagram. And then for shows, here fashionably late on Tuesdays for MacVoices Live. Then Thursdays, prompt and on time for In Touch with iOS, Dave Ginsburg's show. And on the British Tech Network, Thursdays for the Big Show, Fridays for the Mac Show. And Brian Chaffin and I also do the Context Machine.
Great. Thank you, Jeff. So you're telling people that they should swipe right on Jeff Gamet on LinkedIn?
Yes. Now, here's the funny thing. Since I've never used one of the dating apps, I don't know the difference between swipe right and swipe left. So I don't know if swipe right is we like you or we don't like you. But either way, swipe right.
We'll keep the mystery in the relationship for you, Jeff.
Excellent.
Swipe right is interest and approval, Jeff. So
swipe right.
Not that I've used it. I just looked it up. So
okay.
I didn't know it either.
Yeah, I need the validation. Swipe right, everyone.
That's what they all say, Marty. Yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah. Dave Ginsburg, thank you for being here. Double fashionably late, but I'm still delighted you made it. Where can folks find you?
Thanks for letting me in. Yes, I double flashed me late here, but you can find me at In Touch with iOS at intouchwithios.com. Actually, Marty Jency is going to be a first-time guest this coming week, so look forward to that.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you can find us on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/intouchwithios. I'm on here on Tuesdays. I'm on the Mac Show on Fridays on the British Tech Network, as well as I'm on Mastodon at DaveG65 and mastodon.cloud. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Last but not least, we started with him. We're going to end with him, the Arizona boy himself, Brian Flanagan Arthurs. Brian, thanks so much for being here and for doing your calculations. Where can folks connect with you?
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me. Best place to reach me is on Mastodon, Brian8944 at mastodon.cloud.
Great. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Folks, this is Mac Voices Live, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV is where you'll find us. You'll also find the discussions chopped up into little consumable pieces and added to the Mac Voices feed so that nobody misses anything if they can't be here. Please, please take a moment, check your passwords, check your privacy settings. Don't let it happen to you. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.